Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Hello everyone, my name is Palupi Ratu Sekar. I'm from Stage Polytechnic of Semarang, class Accounting 3C, number 19. And here I will present about final project of proposal with the title Increasing the Effectiveness of Land and Building Tax Revenue After Pandemic in Kudus Regency. Okay. Structure of my presentation is Part 1, background, Part 2, formulation of the problem, Part 3, literature review, Part 4, objectivities and benefits, Part 5, research of method. Okay, Part 1 is background. In March 2020, Indonesia was struck by a disaster known as COVID-19. This is great concern to all groups because the impact of the disaster is the entire company and all sector in Indonesia. The big source of state economic income is derived for the tax sector. Tax have a very large role and impact on the state revenue and expenditure budget. Regional tax revenue in Kudus Regency during the pandemic has also decreased compared to the previous year. Many people had to be temporarily laid off from their jobs due to COVID-19. So, they chose to postpone tax recovery of tax revenues has started to improve because activities outside the home have started to return normal. Part 2. Formulation of the problem. 1. How does the government deal with a decrease in the effectiveness of paying tax during pandemic? 2. What are the efforts made by the government so that people are disciplined again in paying tax after the pandemic? 3. How many did the land and building tax revenue decrease during the pandemic and increase after the pandemic? Okay, for the objectives is 1. Knowing the effort made by the government of Kudus Regency to increase land and building tax revenue during the pandemic. 2. Calculating how many the land and building tax revenue has increased after the pandemic. 3. Comparing tax revenue before and after pandemic. Benefit of research. For college students is provide additional insight and knowledge as a further basis regarding the effectiveness of land and building tax revenue on regional tax revenue after the pandemic. For Regional Financial and Asset Management Agency of Kudus Regency is provide information about the effectiveness and contribution of land and building tax revenue to the regional tax revenue of Kudus Regency, as well as provide input for evaluation and consideration in determining future policies. For Stage Polytechnic of Semarang can be used as additional information and reference for readers regarding the effectiveness of land and building tax received on regional tax revenue after the pandemic. The next is literature review. First, tax definition. Second, tax function. Third, tax grouping. 4. Tax collection procedure. 5. Tax payable. 6. Land and building tax. 7. Tax rate. Tax definition. Tax is mandatory payment to the state by the public, the collection of which is regulated by law without receiving reciprocal service and is used to fund the state budget for the general public benefit. Tax function. There are 2 tax functions according to Mardiasmo 2018. First, budget function or budgetary. Second, regulating function or regular. For the text grouping, according to Madiasmo 2018, there are several text groupings. First, according to the group, is direct text and indirect text. Second, according to its nature, is subjective text and objective text. Third, according to the collection agency, is central text and local text. Next, text collection procedure. Text system. I. Real style cell or real. B. Assumption style cell or fiction. C. Mixed style cell. For the text collection system, I. Official assessment system. B. Self-assessment system. C. Withholding system. The next is text payable. First, the occurrence of text 2 is formal instruction and material instruction. Second, text payable expiration is payment or repayment. Second, text payable expiration is payment or repayment, compensation, expired, and emancipation or elimination. The next is land and building tax. According to the Kudus Regency Regional Regulation Number 5 of 2012, land and building tax is a tax on land and or buildings that are owned, controlled, and or utilized by individual or entities, except for areas used for plantation, forestry, and mining business activities. Tax rate of land and building tax. The tax rate according to the Kudus Regency Regional Regulation Number 5 of 2012. 1. For tax object with NGOP up to 1 million rupiah is set at 0.1% per year. Second, for tax object with NGOP above 1 million. Second, for tax object with NGOP above 1 billion rupiah is set at 0.2% per year. The next is research data. Types of data based search is primary data and secondary data. Types of data by nature is qualitative data and quantitative data. Data collection methods is interview method and documentary studies. That's all for me. Thank you for your attention and see you.
Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.